Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to this channel, my name is Chetan Kumar and I'm a senior data analyst. So in today's tutorial, we are going to focus on the most important areas of data preparation, that is date, time and function formula. This is second part of the last video. If you have not watched my previous video, please go ahead and watch that video. So it will be easy for you to understand the next step. So this is part 2 of the last video, date time. So today we are going to understand the next part of it. So today's we will start from the from where we stopped last time. So last time we stopped at we were working on date time parse. So we today we are going to start and learn date time format. Okay. If for example, if you have a business case where the requirement is to drill down the data at month and year level, not at day level, in those scenarios, what you are going to do, and you don't need, like for example, if you don't need numbers, you don't need to show there as 11 as the month. Instead of it shows as the month name. How do we do that from a date? We'll understand that today in this in the next video. So we have already completed date time parse, and if you have not watched this video, please go ahead and watch this video. It was the last video, and now we are going to do format. So we need to convert it into a month and year level. To convert to a month and year level, let's try a calculation called date time format. If you are, this is the format change. So instead of having the default Alteryx date, we are changing the format the way we require for the business. So it's asking to feed the date. First we feed the date. We are working on order date, we'll use the order date. Then it's asking you to enter the format. What format I want to display? I want to display the name of the month and year. So drill down at month and year level instead of showing the numbers. So let's get the month levels. To do that, there's simple calculation, just percentage %B. As you can see, as soon as I wrote B here, it's showing me the name of the month. If I do M here, it'll show the number of the month. I need the month name, not the number. And then year, month and year level drill down. So now, as you can see, it's showing November 2016. If we run this, we have successfully extracted the month and year level data. That will help you to summarize at month and year level based on the business requirement. And this is one of the process that will be helpful when the business is looking to summarize the data at month and year level. Now let's understand if the business is looking for only year level data or only month level data or only day level data, how we are going to summarize those, or at week level too. So you don't need multiple formula tool to do the calculation. If you want, you can use it. Just add here, but it's good to use a single formula tool for you instead of having multiple formula tools. So next, let's extract year out of the from the order date. So let's extract year. If you don't know the function, just mention year, and you will be able to see function. Just select date time year, and it's asking you to or mention the order date here. Or whichever date you are using, you can use the payment date, order date, whatever date you, if they are looking for summarizing it at that level, you can use that. So this will help you. Like for example, I'm extracting date, and if some business is looking for calculation to get the the payment that was done for in the month of or the purchase that was done in the month of in the year 2014, 2015, and 2016, how to get those numbers, that will help them to do YOY calculation to understand how the business is growing. Okay, so for those scenarios you can extract the year. As you can see, you're able to see the year over here, right? Now let's extract the month level data. If the business is looking for a month level information, so you can just extract same thing. You can just mention month. If you don't know the function, just go ahead and select date time month and the order date or the payment date, whatever date you're using. Go ahead and click on run, and you'll be able to see the year and month. Now let's understand the day level information. If you want the day level data, So it's for even for this the same thing, just mention date. So it's date time day and order date. And if you run this, we'll be able to see the date. So it's 2016 11 8, 2016 11 8. So default was we just extracted only we segregated them based on year, month, and day. Is just based on the requirement, based on the business requirement. You can do this calculation. Now, for example, if the client or if the business looking for week label data, if they want to know which day of the week the payment was done, so in those scenarios, you need the week level data, right? So to get the week level information, we just mentioned here week. But with respect to week, we don't have any default format like date, time, year, month, or day. We do have a default function that's available. But for date, time, week, we don't have it. So how do we do that? We have another calculation that is called DateTimeFormat. So it can convert to any format. Just click on that form calculation. It's asking you to feed the order date, and now it's asking you what format you're looking for. So we are looking for the week name, which particular week the transaction happened. So if they're looking for week name, we can just add percentage a. So you should know this function, how we can extract week, how we can extract day, how we can extract month. So this will help you. If you don't know, you can just go ahead and search on Google or search on Alteryx platform. You'll be able to see that. As you can see, we are able to extract the week level information here. It was Tuesday. So it's easy for you to extract which particular week the payment was done. If that's the requirement. Now let's understand another scenario. Another scenario we can do is, for example, if a client has taken service from your company and they have a payment date and they want to do a payment on that particular date, but the client has put a request if they can get a buffer time of 7 more days before the late fee is applied. In those scenarios, we can use another calculation that's called DateTimeAdd. So to the payment date that was finalized, we are adding another 7 days to that before the late fee is applied to that particular payment fee. Let me show you with an example how we can do that. Before that, let me just remove other fields and just keep the order date and change it to payment date. Okay, so if you're working for the payments, so payment date. Now, if we now based on scenario that I mentioned, what we are going to do is the use cases client has a set payment date, but a request was client has requested that they need a 7 days buffer time before the late fee is applied. So we are going to add 7 days to that payment date. So after 7 days is lapsed, then we add the buffer time, the late fee for those clients if it is not payment is not completed. So how do we do that? Let's get a formula tool here again, and we do add date. Now to date add, if you don't know the function, just mention add here. It'll show you the date time add here. It's asking you to select the date. So we are doing the payment date, right? From payment date, what the requirement from the business is to give them a buffer time of 7 more days, like 1 week. We add 7 more days to that particular date, and the increment what we are doing is with respect to the days, right? We do an increment with respect to the days. And if you run this, so we have added 7 more days to the buffer time before the late fees applied. Now we can write further calculation, like if the payment is not completed by this date, we can have another column that has payment done or not done or spending. We can just write the calculation there that will help you. Okay, if the payment has exceeded this date, we add a late fee for those clients. Now let's understand another scenario where we need to subtract the date. So how we can do this is, for example, if you want to remind yourself or to the business that or the sales team to contact the client 30 days before as a reminder that you have to do the payment in within 30 days as a buffer time. In those scenarios, we can the payment date that was decided with the client, you can add you can subtract 30 days before prior to that. So a reminder is for the client, a reminder is for the business that they need to contact the client or remind the client for the payment or the payment that is coming up within 30 days. How do we do that? We use the same function, date subtract. So we are using the payment date. So we use the same function that is called and that is DateTimeAdd. It's asking you to enter the date field that where we need to subtract or create a reminder for us. So we are subtracting 30 days, for example. We are reminding our the sales team 30 days before that they need to contact the client and remind the client that there is a payment that is coming up or initiate that as soon as they reach this particular date there is a email sent with a condition that if the payment is not completed or if the payment is not completed and the and decrement is with respect to the days at day level, right? So as soon as we run this, as you can see, this will be a reminder for who the sales team that within 30 days before 30 days of the payment they need to remind the client that there is a payment that is going to come up within 30 days and they can be prepared for that. It's as a reminder. So this will be helpful when you are adding or subtracting date. This is one scenario. Now let's understand another scenario where, for example, if you're working on workflows, okay, Alteryx workflows, and you want to know on which particular date the workflow is ran. For example, if you run a workflow and if you are appending the data, okay, in a single sheet, how will you know that when the workflow has ran? The data is for which particular date? You won't know that. So in those conditions, what we can do is there's a function called DateTimeNow, and we run this. So this will give you the exact date when the workflow is ran. So when you are doing an append on the data or you are not overriding it, you are only appending one over another. In those conditions, it will give you, okay, this particular data set belongs to this particular date. On this particular date, the workflow has ran. So that will make it easy for many people to, if you don't have a proper date field to calculate or understand when those data has come in, you can use these kind of date formats, and this will help you to understand when the workflow is ran, when the workflow is not ran, or which date you are looking for. It's mainly useful for like stamping reports or building filters or calculating age or duration when we while working on these. Mainly with workflow, this is really helpful when you're working on workflows. So that is all for today's video. And if you have any questions, please leave a comment. And if you like this video, please do like and subscribe to my channel. And please leave a comment if you have any doubts, and I'll be happy to help you out. So keep analyzing and enjoy your day. Have a good day.